Hey guys, it's Carl. So one of the biggest questions I get as a lot of you are heading back to school is a gaming laptop recommendation that A, doesn't break the bank, and B, can still get some pretty good performance. So this one from MSI is the GF63 Thin. It's one of the better gaming laptops, like I said, that doesn't necessarily break the bank. This is actually one of the cheapest RTX 4060 models on the market. It's right around that $1,000 mark depending on the spec, and it isn't super heavy. You can still lug this around. You can actually see the weight right now. It's 1.86 kilograms and 21.7 millimeters thin, which for a gaming laptop, I know that there are chunky and heavy guys out there lugging that around between classes to the library, everything. That really starts to add up weight. And that also transfers to the power brick, which isn't big as well. This entire combo easily fits into any backpack, and you can full-heartedly bring this around with you without getting too sore traps or being weighed down too much. So that's obviously the first thing. For the rest of the design, it's a mixture of aluminum and plastic to keep the weight and obviously the cost down. The top is in this dark gunmetal brushed aluminum with, of course, MSI's logo in red. We've got that on the insides with a plastic trackpad, but it still has some decent click and a full backlit keyboard. Just remember, it's only red on the options for backlit. Even when that's off, the keys are still red. So hopefully red is your favorite color. And for ports, we've got USB-A power on the back, full HDMI slot, and on the other side, two more USB-A, separate headphone jack, microphone, USB-C, Ethernet, and of course the little lock slot to round it off. The screen, to kind of keep costs down, it's a 1080p panel, 144 hertz. Most of the time when you're gaming, you'll be inside your dorm room in a lecture hall where I used to play a lot of games, so you won't really be playing this outside. It only has 250 nits of brightness, but like I said, for indoor use, you should be getting by just fine. The display is matte, which should help out with some glare, but the areas where I think MSI should look to improve for next year are just the overall screen brightness and with that brushed aluminum. Although it feels nice, it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, and I know as students, we're always crunching on chips. I was a big Flaming Hots guy when I used to play StarCraft 2, just kind of keep that in mind as this will collect a lot of gunk. Nothing too crazy, nothing that a little microfiber cloth can't help remedy. So for performance, this is one of the cheapest RTX 4060 laptops on the market. And like I said, I used to play a lot of StarCraft 2. I'm big into Blizzard games, so obviously Diablo 4 is one of their latest. I'm able to crunch this at pretty high settings, getting very smooth frame rates throughout. I won't say that I'm a huge Diablo player, but I've been getting a bit more into it. And since this is a gaming laptop, you've got a decent refresh rate on the screen. This is probably a computer that you'd want to prioritize getting better frames versus really pixel peeping. And for some of the AAA titles, obviously you can't get too high in performance, but once again, if you just want to maximize those frame rates, if you're into a silkier footage or silkier gameplay, this is kind of the route that you're going to go for. And remember, for the price, you're not necessarily breaking the bank, and this is still a fully usable laptop as a student. So you can get by, say, typing up your essays, obviously browsing the net, watching a ton of YouTube videos, which is what I do all the time. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, a 512 SSD, and it's got the Intel Core i7. So like I said, most day-to-day stuff that you use your laptop for, plus the extra benefits of gaming, as long as you're willing to sacrifice a couple things. I'd love to see more gaming laptops not look like, say, a gaming laptop. Obviously, when you whip this out with all of the red branding, with all of the red keys, you know that you'll be crunching a couple games. Not necessarily anything wrong with that, and I love the fact that MSI has kept this on the light-ish weight side for a gaming laptop, because like I said, there are beefier, chunkier, way heavier units that you can get and that obviously are way more expensive. And being a student, you definitely don't have the biggest budget. You want to save money for other accessories, for going out at night, for more important things. So I know that lightweight, cheapish, budget-friendly laptops are hard to find on the gaming side. This is definitely one that I would check out. However, my favorite thing about this machine when I'm gaming, it utilizes NVIDIA DLSS. It's an AI rendering tech that boosts frame rates while maintaining picture quality. And with RTX ray tracing, you still get realistic graphics when you game. And when you consider the other laptops on the market that are rocking RTX 4060s, those are usually way more expensive. So it's great to see this being one of the cheapest rocking this kind of graphics card. And you can really go a bit further than most Blizzard titles, but since this was back to school, student-based, this was a bit of a throwback for me. I always rocked StarCraft 2 and Diablo when I was a student. So that's it, short and sweet. Take-home messages are, if you're looking for a gaming laptop, if you're someone a bit more on the budget, like I said, great for students entering back into the classrooms this year. Still want to rock a couple games when you're listening 2 lectures, more importantly, tuning into your gameplay footage. It's still lightweight, easy enough to carry around. For battery life, definitely carry the charger with you. Obviously, if you're just doing things like word processing, browsing the net, you'll get better usage. But when you start crunching into Diablo 4, into StarCraft 2, for a lot of you getting back into that game, you'll need to keep this connected to power. It is 30% better than the previous gen. Like I mentioned, it is rocking the 12th gen i7. And for an affordable form factor, obviously some sacrifices that you have to make, it's still worthy to check out. Wishing everyone best of luck for this upcoming school year, whatever you are taking, whatever program, class, grade that you're in. And I'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids. Peace!